Hello again. Yesterday saw a couple of news items which show us just where the idea of men really being women is leading us. Just to recap, for those who have managed to steer clear of the business, the modern idea is that physical sex, that is to say whether we are male or female, doesn't really tell us anything useful about which of us are men and which women. Most old-fashioned folk tend to assume that the possession of a penis is a pretty strong clue that you're dealing with a man, just as breasts and a vagina indicate that somebody is a woman. But that approach is now regarded as ludicrously outdated. The way to tell these days if somebody is male or female depends entirely upon their feelings. If a man is 6'2" tall and says that he's a woman called Mary, well, then that's it. Let a flicker of doubt cross your face and you're guilty of a transphobic microaggression. I'm talking only of biological males because it's they who are making all the running in this business. The thumbnail to this video shows somebody going by the name of Sophie Louise Carter. A couple of weeks ago, this was a man called Dominique, but I'm afraid that Dominique was a paedophile caught with indecent images of children on his mobile telephone, and after being charged, he decided that things had to change. He was probably right, of course. A good change would have been to stop downloading indecent images of children, but the change that Dominic Carter hit upon was to start putting a pink Alice band in his hair and calling himself Sophie Louise. Hey presto, the risk of imprisonment was banished in a trice. This same trick worked well enough for a man calling himself Tanya Howes in Norfolk, who was also arrested for downloading indecent images of children. These were so serious and unpleasant that the usual course of action would be immediate imprisonment for such a person. But of course there was a problem. Should he be sent to a men's prison or one for women? The authorities took so long to decide this tricky question that in the end the courts thought that because of the delay it would not be fair to send him to prison, and so the sentence was suspended. Result? See how posing as a woman can pay off when you're in danger of going to jail? I give a link in the description to this video to a news item about these two men. One ridiculous aspect of this is that the offences of both Tanya Howes and Sophie Carter will be recorded as women downloading indecent images of children, which is absolutely nuts, of course. This game is on the increase, and it will surprise nobody to learn that more than half the sex change cases in British prisons are there for sexual offences. There's good reason for this. Most of us are perfectly content to live as the sex and gender that we were born and raised in. Those who are not are by definition exceptional, and very often their interest in presenting as a woman is part of a complex sexual fantasy. There's a lot of crossover between transvestites who wear women's clothes for sexual excitement, autogynephiles who wear women's clothes and they get off sexually on falling in love with the idea of being a woman, and transsexuals who want to be accepted socially as women. There's an element of fetishism in a lot of these cases. In other words, sexual excitement plays a big role in most of these people's lives. And it's not difficult to see how being in a state like that of constant sexual excitement is going to lead some of those people astray, and so that they end up committing sexual offences. I'm happy for men to dress as women, of course, but when we get to the situation where referring to somebody as if he's not a woman can cause upset for misgendering, like calling a man posing as a woman he, then I think we might pause to take stock. Misgendering is one of the most serious sins you can commit where transsexuals are concerned, and this is why there's such a big thing about people providing their preferred pronouns. even to the extent of wearing badges telling everybody whether they're supposed to be a man or woman. I rather hope that we are now reaching a tipping point where ordinary people will rebel against this lunacy and start trying to adopt a common sense approach to the whole business. The current situation really can't go on much longer. And just to make it perfectly clear, because I dare say there'll be those that accuse me of being transphobic or saying that I hate transsexuals or anything, nothing could be further from the truth. I don't care if men want to wear women's clothes, and I don't care who wants to have their body mutilated. I don't care if people pierce their ears or undergo voluntary castration. I don't care if women want to have their breasts amputated. What I care about is that these people don't veer off into alarming things like downloading indecent images of children. And I also care that I'm not forced to go along with their fantasies, that I'm still free to be able to make my own mind up about who is a man and who a woman. Apart from that, good luck to them. Let them carry on as much as they wish.